It's named after the man who founded the company and established its community-minded values. Gus Robinson Developments develops people as well as buildings within the Northeast and beyond. As the business is handed on to the next generation, those values remain at its heart. Inspired by Gus's time travelling the world with the Merchant Navy in the early 1970s.
I felt as though I owed a debt to society and really wanted to establish a business and give others the opportunity to enjoy some of the benefits I'd had. I was an electrical engineer when I started the business, but having spent time in the Merchant Navy, there wasn't a thing that had been done before that I didn't feel that I could do when I launched the business. It was a case of having the right man or the right machine, so it was very easy for me to transfer into heating and plumbing. We were one of the biggest installers in Cleveland for British Gas. This was necessary because, you know, I first started fixing foreign trawlers, but as the weather changed, the trawlers never came back to Hartlepool. So I had developed almost immediately the importance of flexibility.
As a successful boxing manager who provides free training facilities for youngsters at his business premises, Gus understands too the value of skills inside and outside of the ring. When his work installing central heating was hit by the oil crisis of the 1970s, he added property building to the company's skill set. This, together with heating, plumbing and electrical engineering, sustained it to become what it is today, a multi-million-pound business employing over 100 people. His son Dan is taking the company forward with leadership skills honed as an RAF fighter pilot. He was also selected by the United States Air Force as the first and only non-US national at the time to fly the F-22A Raptor, the most advanced combat aircraft in the world.
A completely different perspective to that which I'm doing right now, but a tremendous amount of value that has really allowed me to bring a completely fresh perspective, a completely fresh set of eyes, and use that plus the unique team that I have here that I've kind of grown up with from being a boy. We have a tremendous capability now, a strong expertise to be able to provide sustainable infrastructure, refurbishment of existing infrastructure and housing stock, and the provision of new build sustainable housing. So we work heavily in the public and private sectors. We work with the local corporations, the local development agencies in the northeast of England and further afield. We've worked for Nuclear Electric, British Gas, British Steel. We've worked in London for the Royal College of Art, for the Imperial College of Science and Technology. So really a broad portfolio of clients, and that's testament to our broad range of skill sets.
The company's management has an open-door policy with staff and was one of the first UK construction companies to hold both ISO 9001 and Investors in People status. Staff appraisals were introduced long before they became widely used in business. In line with the company's strategy, the ISO 14001 accreditation shows its commitment to the environment and waste management.
Within Gus Robinson Developments, the development of people is absolutely fundamental. I see education for the soul, and I see training as being something important to make sure that we can execute the jobs that we have to do very effectively and efficiently.
Jeanette joined Gus Robinson as a 16-year-old and now heads up its accounts department. She says its training profoundly changed her.
From then on, I had a different feel about myself as a person, in that I wasn't just an administration clerk anymore. I actually could lead people.
Caroline is a Gus Robinson success story too. She cared for her younger brother, Sean, alone from the age of just 18 in impoverished conditions. They both now work for the company. It's turned their lives around.
It took me 2 years to find a company to take me on after trying like 145 companies. And then I wrote a letter to Gus, and he was the only one who would take me on.
Look at the individual, see what talents they have, nurture those talents, help them through education to reach their full potential.
Gus Robinson Developments believes the key to its success is a balanced approach to business, never over-committing the company financially or contractually, and a reputation for integrity and high-quality workmanship.
Hello, would you like to come in and see my new flat?
It prides itself on exceptional standards, identifying as an example this award-winning £3 million refurbishment of the Albany Court sheltered housing complex, transformed with a range of eco-friendly features and with minimum inconvenience to residents.
You would hardly know that they were here. There was very little disturbance. It was brilliant. Brilliant. We loved having the men here.
Gus Robinson Developments won the North East Construction Awards for this project and a place in the national finals. Its success achieved through a strong working relationship with Housing Hartlepool.
We can rely and trust Gus Robinsons to go and do the work, and we're not having to watch that they're doing it at all times. We know that the work we're getting done is what we require.
Integrity is absolutely fundamental, not only in business but in any walk of life, because it's from which you gain the trust of the people who work for you and the trust of the people who you work for.
So we are looking now for a period of sustained growth to establish ultimately a national brand and a national identity that is solid within the UK. Once that's achieved, then we're looking to obviously internationalise, and ultimately it would be nice to talk about a global presence.
Now a second-generation company, Gus Robinson Developments aims to be the North East's highest quality provider of sustainable infrastructure, housing and servicing, capitalising on existing opportunities for its future expansion.